Good day everyone, my name is Guimbaleña from BSHM3A, and for today I will discuss the chapter 15, the Tourism and Hospitality Management Education. Learning objectives. Differentiate schools abiding with laws from those that are not. Identify the requirements in the opening and operations of a tourism or hospitality management program and tourism-related technical vocational programs, and identify the laws governing various issues in tourism and hospitality education. Topic outline. First, curriculum. Second, school laboratories and other CHED requirements. Third, student practicum or apprenticeship. Fourth, accreditations and deregulations of schools. Fifth, tuition fees. Sixth, sexual harassment in the academy. 7. Random job testing for tertiary level students. 8. Tertiary education equivalency. And 9. Foreign students. Curriculum. The curriculum of the BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management programs of the different colleges and universities around the country should be compliant with CHED Memorandum Order Number 31 Series of 2001. In accordance with the pertinent provisions of Republic Act or RA Number 7722, otherwise known as the Higher Education Act of 1954, the following minimum circular requirements for the Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management or HM and Tourism are hereby adopted and promulgated by the Commission. The government also encourages all higher education institutions or institutionalize the ladderized interface between the technical vocational education and training or IVET and higher education or HE, which enables students to earn certifications at each year level of competency and enables them to secure gainful employment. Section 4 of CMO 27 Series of 2006 has identified 8 priority course programs. For national implementations of these includes BS Tourism, BS Hotel and Restaurant Management, and BS Travel Management. So the curriculum of BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management must comply with CHED Memorandum Order Number 31 Series of 2001. This law ensures that programs meet the standards outlined in the Higher Education Act of 1994 or RA 7722. The government promotes the ladderized education systems, allowing students to earn certifications and employment opportunities at each level of study. School laboratories and other CHED requirements. The grant of the government recognition shall be based on full 100% compliance with the minimum requirements prescribed by CHED and the offering of the particular program of study, specifically in terms of faculty, library, laboratory, and administration. Schools offering BS Hotel and Restaurant Management or Hospitality Management are required to have different kinds of laboratories like kitchen laboratory for food preparation, mock-up guestroom for housekeeping, front office for simulation, mock-up restaurant and bar for food and beverage services, and a computer laboratory for computer subjects. Good laboratories aim to hone the practical skills of the students. So, with the CHED mandates that school offering hospitality program must meet strict requirements, especially regarding facilities like laboratories, libraries, and qualified faculty. This includes simulation areas such as mock hotel rooms, restaurants, and kitchens to develop students' practical skills. School must also meet requirements in library resources, floor area, and administrative qualifications to gain official recognition. Student practicum or apprenticeship. In relations to CMO number 31 series of 2001, the minimum requirements for student practicum in BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management are 3 units. So this allows students to gain real-world industry experience. Practicum is an essential component of bridging classroom learning with actual hospitality operation. Discussion of the law. Qualifications of requirements for the agencies or parties involved. First, higher education institutions. Only higher education institutions with accredited programs are qualified to participate in the international practicum training programs and may deploy their HRM or tourism students for the purpose. Second, training partner. The training partner should be at least 3-star hotel or resort or club or restaurant duly accredited by the Hotel or Restaurant Associations abroad. Third, third-party training partner or 3TP. The TP should be accredited by the CHED. The following are the requirements for accreditation. First, registration with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Second, license to conduct recruitment and placement services in the Philippines in partnership with a duly licensed Philippine-owned agency in the same business and maintaining an office in the Philippines for the purpose. Third, dormitory type accommodations to the student trainees abroad. Safe, clean, and conducive for rest and study, well lighted, well ventilated, quiet, far from ambitious places such as beer house, gambling joints, and factories. Fourth, student. Considering the cross-cultural nature of this program, participants should be carefully selected. They should possess the following qualifications. First, must be an HRM or tourism student and currently enrolled in a practicum subject. Second, must be at least 16 years old. Third, must have passed pre-practicum requirements. Fourth, must be recommended by the faculty practicum coordinator and the dean of the college. Fifth, must undergo a pre-departure orientations, seminar, and proficiency training in this basic industry language. Sixth, must be physical and mentally fit with a pleasant personality. 7. Must be articulate in English or the language spoken in the host country. 8. Must possess the manifest approval or consent from parents or guardians. And 9. Must have the right attitude towards practicum or work. Obligations or responsibilities of the agencies or parties involved. First, higher education. Select participants in accordance with the qualification requirements with the concurrence of the 3TP. Assign a full-time academically qualified faculty practicum coordinator responsible for all aspects of the IPTP and its demands to include program implementations and evaluation. Conduct pre-department orientations or seminar in cooperations with the 3TP for the students and their parents or guardians. Submit to CHED the list of departing students together with the following informations or documents. Second, training partner. Provide the work experience on the job training to the student trainees in accordance with the agreed training plan and schedule activities. Assign a competent training supervisor responsible for all phases of the work, including the evaluations of performance of trainees, and issue certificate of completion to the trainees prior to the departure from training venue or country. Third, third-party training partner or TPTP. Fourth, student. And fifth, parent or guardian. Operations of the International Practicum Training Program. First, implementation. Second, monitoring and evaluation. And third is durations of the training. Accreditations and deregulations of schools. Under the Higher Education Act of 1994 or RA 7722, the Commissions on Higher Education or CHED promotes voluntary non-governmental accreditations as a means to enhance quality and excellence in higher education. CHED encourages higher education institutions to go beyond minimum standards and supports accreditation systems while safeguarding their voluntary and independent nature. According to CHED Memorandum Order No. 6, Series of 1997, institutions with Level 3 accredited status are granted full autonomy, while those with Level 2 accreditations receive partial deregulation, including curricular autonomy. Accreditations helps ensure schools exceed minimum standards and promote educational quality. CHED supports voluntary, non-governmental accreditation systems and encourages schools to participate. Schools with higher accreditation levels may receive partial or full autonomy in curricular and administrative decisions. Tuition fees. The allowable increase in tuition and other fees in all levels should not be more than a prevailing national inflation rate. The prevailing national inflation rate shall refer to the average annual headline inflation rate at the national level of immediately preceding year prior to the academic year for which the intended increase shall take effect. So any increase in tuition and other school fees must not exceed the national inflation rate of the previous year. This is to maintain affordability for students and ensure tuition hikes are justified. Schools must follow these regulations regarding for education level. Sexual harassment in the academy. Under the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995, RA 7877, sexual harassment in schools or training environments occurs when someone in authority abuses their positions to demand sexual favors or creates a hostile and intimidating environment for students or trainees. This includes making sexual favors a condition for grades, honors, scholarships, or other benefits. School heads are legally required to prevent such acts by creating clear procedures for addressing complaints, involving student representatives in drafting rules, and forming a committee in decorum and investigation. If school heads fail to act on reported incidents, they can be held liable for damages. The Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995 protects students from inappropriate acts by educators or school officials. Schools are required to establish rules, create a committee on decorum, and investigate reported cases. Heads of institutions are held liable if no action is taken upon receiving complaints. Random drug testing for tertiary level students. In accordance with the pertinent provisions of Republic Act No. 7722, otherwise known as the Higher Education Act of 1994, the pursuant of Section 36 of Article 3 of the RA 9160, otherwise known as the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, random drug testing of students in public and private tertiary or higher educational institutions will be implemented beginning 2003. Under RA 9160 and RA 7722, random drug testing for college students in both public and private schools has been implemented since 2003. This is part of the government's anti-drug campaign in educational institutions. The goal is to ensure a safe and drug-free learning environment. Tertiary education equivalency. CMO 21 Series of 1997 provides the policies and guidelines on the implementations of the expanded tertiary education equivalency and accreditations program or ETEEAP pursuant to Executive Order 330. The Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program or ETEEAP based on CMO 21 Series of 1997 allows individuals with work experience to earn academic degrees. It provides recognitions for prior learning outside the traditional classroom. This is especially beneficial for professionals seeking formal academic credentials. Foreign students. There have been a number of trade memoranda issued in relation to processing foreign students in the Philippines. CMO 53, 1997, Amendments to Trade Memorandum Order or CMO number 2 series of 1994, the implementing guidelines on the entry and stay of foreign students in the Philippines, and the establishments of an interagency committee for the purpose to conform with Executive Order number 423 signed on 25 June 1997, amending Executive Order number 188. CMO 7, 1996, Submissions of Names and Designated Liaison Officers of the Higher Education Institutions with Foreign Students. CMO 1, 1996, Submission of Reports on Foreign Students with Expired Visas and Derogatory Records. CMO 15, 1995, General Procedures in Processing of Entry and Stay of Foreign Students. CMO 2, 1994, Rules and Regulations to Implement EO number 188, Guidelines to the Entry and Stay of the Foreign Students in the Philippines and the establishments of an entire agency committee for the purpose. And that's it for my report in Chapter 15. Thank you!